Before going to Vietnam, I had only one watch in my mind which I wanted to see and buy, but by the end of the trip, things had completely changed. Vietnam is a South Asian country which has the shape of an S and is divided into three parts: North, Central and South. Fortunately, I got to visit at least one place in all the three regions, and the watch scene over there was completely different. Welcome back to Nishant's Swiss Game. Let's get started with the first destination. My first stop was in the north of Vietnam, which is Hanoi, and it is also the capital of Vietnam as well. It's a very cultural city with a lot of people and a lot of things to do, but you have only three main locations where you can buy genuine watches. I'm not sure about the fake market, I'll get to that later. First is the Lotte Mall, second is the Aeon Plaza, and third is the Tran Tian Plaza. Unfortunately, I was able to go to only one of those places. Even if you live in the city center, commuting to Aeon and Lotte Mall takes a lot of time, and my schedule was also really tight. If you go to Lotte, you have shops like Swatch and probably Casio. If you go to Aeon, you have Longines store and some other multi-brand stores as well. But Tran Tian Plaza was the most luxurious store in Hanoi. When you look at it from outside, it looks as if you're seeing a 1950s theater with a lot of lights. You can even see it from a mile afar, but it had a problem. When I went into the plaza, it was very luxurious. I was not able to go into a store and actually film what they have, as they had a lot of restriction. And the reason being that people might fake their watches. So Tran Tian had a lot of stores like Cartier, Hublot, Montblanc, Rolex, and a multi-brand store which sold Citizen, Longines, Bulova, etc. My first stop was Rolex store. I got to take videos of whatever was outside. When I tried to enter, there were already two people shopping in there. When I tried to go in, the door was locked, and a staff came in and let me inside and made me wait in the waiting area till the other couple finished shopping. But it took more than 15 minutes, so I lost my patience, and the people didn't speak English and they were looking at me in a weird way, which I didn't like. So I just came out and I waited for another 15 minutes and went to other stores, but still people were shopping inside Rolex, so I decided not to continue. And moreover, there were no options to actually record any videos in there. It was literally waste of time for me, so I just came out of Tran Tian. So if you're looking for any luxurious watches, you can actually try Tran Tian, which is in the middle of the city center. If you're enjoying the video so far, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new to this channel. I'm Nishant and this is Nishant's Swiss Game, a channel dedicated to watch enthusiasts and watch lovers. And don't forget to like and hype this video so that it reaches more people. And comment down below if you know any other store which actually sells really good watches in Vietnam. My second stop was Central Vietnam, and it was Da Nang. Da Nang is one of the most beautiful places you can actually visit in Vietnam, but the stores where you can buy watches are really less because there was only one mall which actually I went to. There might be others, but as far as I know, there's Wincom Plaza where you can actually buy watches, and the only watch store over there was Casio. The Casio store had a lot of options compared to what you'd see in a normal store. It's not a dedicated store. It was more like a mobile store. They had a few watches, and one of those watches actually interested me, which I'll come back to later. And you got a lot of options over there as well, like a lot of G-Shocks. You had a few baby Gs, few MTGs, etc, etc. I was just looking at those watches. The prices were about 1.5% more compared to what you pay in India. All of those models are not brand new. A few models which are quite old, and they had a discount as well. So even though you get a huge discount, the price is actually very high. So that is something I noticed when it comes to Da Nang, but it's a really good place. You'll actually love it. My final stop was Ho Chi Minh City, the southernmost part of Vietnam and the most developed one as well. You have a lot of options when it comes to watch shopping over here, be it genuine as well as fake. The area which I went to, there were three main places where you can actually buy genuine luxury or affordable watches. First was Saigon Center. Saigon Center is a club of two malls, which is Takashima as well as Saigon Center. You won't know which is Takashima and which is Saigon Center because they are close to each other. They are almost in the same building, so I get confused many times. You have a multi-brand store inside Saigon Center. They have watches like Casio and MTGs as well. And then if you go to the main part of Saigon Center, you have almost all all the luxury watches. You have Tag Heuer, you have Hublot, and you have a store called the Hourglass. The Hourglass is a very curated collection of watches. I was not allowed to film a lot of watches in there, but I'll tell you what they were. On the window pane, you could find a lot of Tudors, and they also sell Tudor, Grand Seiko, Cartier, Hublot. They also have a dedicated store for Rolex as well. I didn't get to check that out, but there was another store which I did window shopping in. When it came to the Hourglass and Tudor, I saw two watches which I didn't even expect in my wildest dreams. And the saddest part was both of them were exhibition only pieces. The first one was my favorite, the Tudor Black Bay Chrono in ink. And this is the first time ever I was able to hold it in my hands. And unfortunately, I tried talking to the staff to actually let them sell me that watch, but that watch was already paid for and it was impossible for me to get one of those watches. I've been trying for 2 years and hopefully I might get one in the future. The Tudor Black Bay Chrono in pink was an excellent watch to look in person, and I got that opportunity to actually look at that watch and feel it in person, and they made me wear gloves because it was reserved for another customer. And the second watch was the Tudor Monarch, which is the latest release from Tudor, but honestly that watch was not as interesting as the pink. It looked good, but it was an exhibition only piece as well. I had an option to look at all the other watches, but I was not able to put it in camera, so I'm really sorry about that. After that, there is Saigon Square, which is the fake market watches. You can get literally any watch over there which is not genuine, and you get really high quality fakes as well. I don't understand the irony that there is an original store on the left and there's a fake store on the right. I don't know, and it's from the same company, so literally I have no idea why that happens. After Saigon Center, you have Wincom Plaza. Wincom Plaza is another really big store. You have Bulova, you have Casio, you have a store which has Hamilton, Longines, Tissot, etc. etc. It's another mall which has a lot of other stores as well. A really good mall to actually buy stuff in. Those were not really interesting for me. There was one store called Union Square, which was on the way between Saigon Center and Wincom Plaza, and it was the most ultra luxurious store you can ever visit. Opposite that, you have a Rex Hotel, which actually has a Rolex boutique, which is one of the biggest I've seen so far, but I didn't go inside. When you look at the display of those watches, they had literally so many models of Rolex, but they were not the current models, they were quite older models. I think if you're a Rolex fan, you would love that store. Let's come back to Union Square. Union Square has literally all the high-end brands like Chopard, Piaget, Patek, AP, Hublot, and even Cartier. So it was a very luxurious mall. I was not allowed to record there as well. This was all taken from outside, and for the first time ever, I got to see an AP boutique. I've seen a Patek before in Hong Kong, but AP, it's the first time. And I literally didn't know that there was a Patek store inside because it went in and there. I didn't have much time to spend, so I was surprised that even Patek was there inside, and I knew that this was a very expensive, ultra luxurious mall. So if you want to buy one of those very high-end watches, that is the place where you need to go. Vietnam was good, but I got an affordable watch, which is the Casio MTD 130D. So this watch is not available in the Indian market, so I wanted to get it. If I had to choose between the watches which I had to get, my first on top of the list was the Black Bay Chrono in pink, but that didn't happen. Second was the AP Swatch collab. Never got to see it in person, so that didn't happen either. And I just went by surprise to the Wincom Plaza in Da Nang, and I got this MTD 130D. A review of this watch will be coming soon in our channel. This watch was something a little different from what I've seen so far. It was practical, it was legible, and it had everything else. It was under 30% off, so when it comes to the Indian price, it was around 10,000 rupees. But as far as I know, this watch is not available in the Indian market. I paid around 2,500 more than what I would pay in India. So the price was okay when it comes to the watch not being available in India. And it was a very good purchase, and I really like the way people treated me when it comes to watch shopping in Vietnam. To be very honest, I was thinking that Vietnam literally had nothing to offer, but to my surprise, it had so much to offer and so many places where you can actually buy watches. There are a lot of stores even on the streets where you can actually get a Casio or maybe a Citizen. They also had a dedicated Citizen store which I didn't have a chance to get into. So there's a lot of places to actually visit in Vietnam. Vietnam as well as do watch shopping. And the prices when it comes to luxury watches, it's a little bit expensive than India, not a very huge margin. They do have really good watches. This was my experience watch shopping in Vietnam. Let me know in the comments what are your thoughts. If you haven't seen my previous video about the Hublot event, you can check it out here, as well as the playlist of all the watch videos I've made over here. I'll see you next with another exciting video. Until then, peace out.